Things have been a little bit quiet for the David case over the last week or so. I recently attended court. Apparently, there's so much evidence that it's only 25% of the evidence has actually been transferred from the prosecution to the defense at this stage, 40 terabytes, and it's a lot. So while I don't have a big update with what's going on with the trial in the courthouse, what I do have for you guys is a very interesting and comprehensive breakdown of some of the other evidence. It might well be included in that 40 terabytes that prosecutors are desperately trying to transfer on that courthouse dial-up, but there are a bunch of things that I wonder if they're going to be included. And a big part of this, and it probably is quite a few of those terabytes, is David's Discord server. Now, I've done a few deep dives into David's Discord server over the last couple of weeks. You might have seen some of the videos that I did about, David's Discord mod, some of the shadowy figures that were apparently helping David run this operation behind the scenes. And I keep finding just odd, strange, suspicious, incriminating stuff on David's Discord. And I've got an absolute avalanche of information for you guys in this video, because what I'm going to do is basically break down everything that happened on David's Discord minute by minute as the body was discovered in his Tesla. I don't mean to diminish or belittle the situation. I say a body just because that's what was found in his car. This is a real person. Rest in peace to Celeste. And, we really are just following this story, just praying for that justice to be delivered. So I just want to make that really clear before I get into this. I don't want to downplay or diminish the seriousness of the situation, but just specifically, this video is going to be all about how everybody on Discord reacted when a body was found in David's trunk, when the car was towed. And this really is going to be a breakdown of how David's community found out about what he allegedly did and what was allegedly, not even allegedly, what was in his car in real time. And it's pretty crazy and it's pretty spooky. So this is going to be a long one. I've got a lot of stuff to show you in this video. And I'm surprised that we were even able to find out this much information. So I've got a giant document here that basically kind of breaks everything down. And I've basically just got screenshots. This is 87 pages. So I've got quite a lot to get through today, guys. Okay, so if you were itching for a David update, I got you. All right, got a big coffee on deck. I'm going to get into it. So basically, as you can see here, these are messages on David's Discord from the 8th of September. Now, just to add another really sad dimension to this story, Celeste's birthday was the 7th of September, I believe, and she would have been 15. She didn't make it to 15 because now we know that she had lost her life months before she was found in that car in the tow yard. And that's just so devastating, so sad. But what we're going to see in this video is exactly how it played out as far as everybody finding out what was going on with David in his Discord, okay? So look, I've got it for you guys here, okay? This is the discussion that was going on just an hour before David's car was basically found at that tow yard, all right? So just an hour before David fans found out that the Tesla found at the tow yard that had the body of Celeste in it was registered to David. It would take some time before they would find out that it was a little girl in there, okay? But people are talking, they're discussing stuff, they're messing around, and as you can see, people are saying fire, they're talking about, I don't know exactly what they're talking about at this stage. They're saying it was the second account to do that. People saying they miss their wife. My posts aren't that interesting. Someone said, are you pulling up to the group Goon at 2? People saying no. They're all having fun. But here's the thing, right? They're saying Luke's coming to the gooning session. And then this Ariana person says Luke's 15. So even before this all came to a head, right? There's minors in here making unsavory jokes. People talking about I need to find a fit for school. So these are kids having adult conversations in the David Discord before anything's found out. So, Ben's talking about he's a master gooner. Okay, whatever. All right. So people are kind of having fun in here. And again, they're making jokes about PDF files, all right? They're talking about Master Gooner. Someone's saying you're a child like her. You don't have to see each other to goon bro. That's gay. It's just a goon. It's just a group goon. So these are like super sort of unsavory, childish, but also like quite juvenile conversations that are being had in David's Discord. So this is the discourse that's going on just as we're all waking up to what a horrible guy David might be. Okay, they're saying, so y'all gooning together, that's gay. They're all having very childish chats. But here you go. The first official mention of the body in the car would come at 9:55 on September the 8th, 2025. Someone said, I don't talk here But can anyone confirm what KTLA is saying on their Instagram about David? First post. And his comments are off. People are saying, who? Who is this? Can't see. It's a news channel. I don't even want to say it, lol. Sorry, it's ABC7LA. I don't think I can say it. They just posted it. Whoa, what the hell? It says a dead body was found in David's car. Yeah. So, you know, I remember seeing this on the news, and I'll be real, I wasn't that familiar with David. I think I'd heard his name. I'd heard a few songs. You know, it's like music you might hear in the background of like a mid-tier restaurant. All right, I'd heard David's songs, getting burgers, getting a $25 burger a couple times, that type of stuff. But this literally is the first instance on David's Discord where they even acknowledged that a body was found in his car. All right, and I do think this is really interesting because it just goes to show you how the David diehards kind of took this news, right? So someone does eventually post it. Someone says, oh, and it's an ABC7LA account. Article. It says it's a grisly Hollywood mystery. A decomposing body is found inside the front trunk of a Tesla impounded at a Hollywood tow yard. Eyewitness News has learned the car belongs to pop star David Anthony Burke, known as David to his millions of fans. The musician is currently on tour in the Midwest, and they're trying to put together clues. And people are saying, whoa, wait, what the hell? And then people are saying this has to be promo for his deluxe album. And they're saying, what if it's like an Itami prompt or something? Obviously, Itami is David's alter ego, was allegedly committing crimes that David himself would have to go and solve. Weird stuff, all right? Weirdo stuff. But anyway, they're saying, what if it's like an Itami prompt? They're saying in the middle of his tour, this is crazy. People are saying they hope it's an Itami prompt, all right? They're saying this has either got to be planned or it's a promo. People are saying, bro, because the last time he was in LA was back in April. That was known. A little bit of accidental incrimination there, to be honest with you. Last time he was back in LA was April. That now we know, we have the paperwork. That's allegedly when the murder happened. So they're accidentally piecing together the whole timeline without realizing it. They're saying, oh, wait, you guys are for real about the promo. No, ABC would not post that if it was. People saying this is making my heart race. What are you thinking? Please be real. This is nerve-wracking. So the David diehards in Discord were shaking in their boots. Thinking, what the hell? This is disturbing. This is nerve-wracking. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Little did they know just how much worse things would get, all right? So people are saying, I'm looking into it. Apparently, ABC is not a reliable news source. Wait until someone else reports it. Otherwise, ignore it. So again, they're saying ABC, oh, come on, ABC News, not a reliable source. Otherwise, ignore it. Not something you can ignore. People are saying, I'd be hating on David to be funny. What was this? I swear to God, if this is real, they're saying facts. As someone who lives here, I can agree, but also why post it if there isn't any evidence? It's a big assumption. And then they post it again. Human remains found in trunk of impounded Tesla. Now, here's some crazy stuff because people are going to start defending David, right? It says it says why post it if there's no evidence? It's a big assumption. People are saying it gets clicks. If it's proven false, they'll delete it and pretend it never happened. Someone said they got a song with David dropping. People are saying they're going after an artist whose career is skyrocketing right now. It's insane. So they're already just getting into victim mode and thinking, oh, they're going after David because his career's been skyrocketing. And they're saying, oh, so it's not David. I'm mad confused, bro. People are saying, did what? What the F? Holy, what the hell? Stop with my username. They're saying this was posted before, meaning it isn't like a promo that is new, that the news is aware of. They're saying the IG is the only person talking about David being somewhat involved. Holy shit. So unless he's insane for album promo or planted, it's real. And people are saying there's no way, dog. They're in disbelief. They can't believe that this is happening. People are saying, wait, what's going on? Imagine it was a prop for a music video and then they forgot to take it out from the trunk. David has a dead body in his car. So they're saying, why would a news outlet report this shit? All right, people are saying, what? Somebody's getting fired. These guys can't believe it. They're saying, ain't no way. Dude, like what? Allegedly, David's impounded Tesla had a decomposing body in it. When was this like I found out? They wouldn't be aware is what I'm saying today. It's odd if he trolls this far or something. People saying police will have to investigate bodies to make sure that they're real. It says they smell a foul smell, though, so it would have to be real. Crying faces. People are saying they're coping. They don't want to believe it. Oh, my Lord. Why are you talking about this, though? No, David, come on. It's an impound lot. Realistically, it doesn't mean anything because we want to know if it's real or not. People are saying this is the David Discord, bro. People are asking why you're talking about this. So they want to hush this up, really. They don't even want people talking about this. As soon as it happened, They didn't want people talking about it. People are saying because we don't know if it's real or if they're lying on his name. They're saying this is the only source that reported it. And it says they're attacking him already. So they're in David defense mode. And this is a post that basically somebody posted on Twitter. They said, "This you?" And they posted the news of the dead body. People saying, "Wait, is this David related?" Maybe, y'all. People saying, "Yes, here we go." A lot of us are big fans. We don't want to assume our favorite artist is a weirdo. Unfortunately, it might well turn out he is. People saying, "I mean, it is a reliable source, though." They're saying, "Yes, yeah, GG's, bruh. A weirdo. ABCLA is my goat. He's going to get attacked." They're saying, "Wait, so does this mean the LA show is cancelled?" And they're saying, "Nah, someone framed him." So they're already trying to come up with defenses for David. They're saying, "Moji, why did you do this, bro?" So the known Discord mods like Moji, they're tagging them and they're talking to them and they're referencing them. And they're like, "Yo, what's going on?" They're joking. "Why did you do this?" They're saying, "Bro, I know all of his songs word for word. I cannot let this happen." And then someone posted a snippet from the news. It said the Tesla had reportedly been on the lot for several days and was impounded after someone reported it had been abandoned. And saying dude got his car impounded. So somebody posted a poll. They said, "You think this real?" And they went 50-50. They said they went 50-50. So a lot of people said they felt it when someone said, "I know all of his songs word for word. I can't let this happen." Okay. And people start even getting sympathy. They're saying, "Poor David." They're saying, "You think it was like a parking ticket?" And then fake news starts coming out. People are doing fake news. They're saying David just got arrested in Ohio, but it's not true. People can't believe it. He was in Ohio like 3 days ago. He's not there no more. Wait, can I go see him? I'm joking, y'all. So he was capping, right? They're saying David was literally just in Chirac. David's been gone from Ohio. They're saying I fell for it. So people are posting pictures of his shows and kind of like just following along and basically just trying to find out what's going on with this, right? So David was still performing while all this was going on, while he got caught out. He said, "Bro, I'm mad scared, dog. We must protest. Me too. This has to be fake." Said, "Did my goat somehow get brainwashed by brain what?" And then what? Did my goat somehow get brainwashed? Did my goat somehow get brainwashed by brain rot and then went wild? That is a tongue twister. That might be true. And people are saying it's not fake. People are saying help. Didn't he just get media trained like 2 days ago? I media trained you. It's controversial. So apparently David actually posted this on September the 5th, 2 days before Celeste's birthday, saying, "I start media training tomorrow, guys. Wish me luck." Now, it's ironic, right, that just days before a decomposing body was found in his car, he's talking about, "Oh, I need some media training." I don't think all the media training in the world is going to get him out of this situation, right? But it's very, very interesting, okay? So, as you know, right, you might remember this. This is what David said to Celeste. So
I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
So I feel like media training was just like a big joke for this guy, right? That was like a thing that he was into. So people point that out. They said, "Didn't he just get media trained like 2 days ago, bruh? Life cannot be real right now, bro. OMG." ABCLA is an insanely reliable news outlet. People are trying to call ABCLA fake news. Like, bro, that's the real news. They're saying it's raps. Hey, guys. So also, fun fact. They're saying, is him getting media trained good or bad part of this? People saying, "I talked to his brother. I'll see if this is true and shit because it's mad crazy." People are saying a body takes time to decompose, by the way, so it would have had to have been there for a long time. Will's pretty smart. He's a pretty smart cookie by the looks of things at this point. People are saying that's weird. Don't contact his brother. They're saying Wake Up Twin, new David Law just dropped, and it's so over. They're saying bro just got a Fortnite collab too. This is crazy. They're saying, nah, this for real actually scary because it dead ass got to be a location for a while. It do got to be in a location for a while to decompose. So people within bare minutes of the news coming out, they're kind of piecing together the facts, saying, "Yo, for a body to decompose, that's got to be there for a while." They're saying, would you want someone DMing you and being like, "Yo, did your brother just kill someone?" People saying, "No, you right. He hasn't been there for a while, I thought." They're saying, I mean, does this go against everything he said he believes and stuff? Maybe it's just planted and coincidentally David's impounded car, right? So people are posting it again. They're pointing out comments that, I don't know if you can see it, it's very small, but it says, "Yeah, he did it." So people are already kind of putting together their narratives on David, right? It says, "Yeah, he did it." So people continue the discourse. They say it was reported as an abandoned car. Don't they search abandoned vehicles when impounding them? People say not in all places. Someone else said, I would assume so. They said his comments are turned off. Someone said, I knew the whole time that he was shady. I just had a feeling something like this would come out eventually. And then someone posted in reference to his music, David Dunn actually committed a romantic homicide. And people are posting crying emojis. This community is in shambles at this point, right? People are saying the comments are frying me. They're saying, dude, what? What the F is on Insta right now? They're saying, right, LMFAO. Some people are saying someone framed him to make him look bad and ruin his image, right? They wish. Someone's saying, well, who the F would do this? Someone said, that's what I brought up, and now we're having a discussion. People saying potential misinformation spreader. Bodies take time to decompose. We already saw that. They said that that's David on his alt account, chill, bro. And this, they said bodies takes time to decompose. It would have been planted for a long time, and then it would have had to have been known. People saying, for instance, why was the car impounded? What was the reason? And Viper says, damn, David really catching bodies. So someone said impounded lot. And they said it was abandoned. They said, what makes it worse? He's probably been away from LA since the tour started. Now, it's ironic, right? These guys know David so well, they don't even realize they're low-key dropping evidence. They're low-key dropping timelines before we even know we needed a timeline, before we even know who was in the car. So people are saying they got no clue about when David was in LA. Someone's saying they must have smelt it. They said it smelt. Someone must have called it in. It says a car needs to be abandoned by the owner, usually, in order for it to be deemed that. And someone's saying, but honestly, why would he do a tour having done that? It's crazy, right? They're saying, damn, this crazy. That's what I'm trying to figure out. People are saying, so he can get away with it. Anyways, weird as F. Will is the most switched on person in this chat. I'm not going to lie to you. This Will guy, he piecing it together quickly. So it says he has where he going to be next whole IG post. They going to find him. Doesn't make any sense. Please be real. Someone says, dog, I'm scared. If the deluxe drops, then we're cool. I don't care no more. That deluxe did not drop, folks. Ain't no deluxe. All right. Like his tour dates, they know where he's going to be at. They're saying, please take the photos drop. Someone said, excuse me. They said it's been leaked. What? I don't know if they're talking about photos of the car or the body or just David's photos on tour. Pictures of David. People saying, what? There's this picture of David with a Band-Aid over his nose. They're saying he's the Timu Nelly. Right? Definitely going to get hot in here when he passes away. But anyway, people saying, wait, LMAO. Not Malcolm's verse. Bro, it's fake, right? Let me know. Fried. It's not fake. Not fake, it's real. Real as hell. Okay? So you can see people continuing there saying fried. People are acting David saying, did you do it? Be honest, let me know. They're saying, David, is that my bestie in a Tessie? And it says the ops forced him to do a silly dance. So it shows you, like, they're not really taking this seriously, right? Like, they're kids. They're kids in there, okay? They're saying, ain't decomposing more than 11 hours? Decomposing, yet he made a story 11 hours ago. So this is the defense. Someone else is posting comments saying, I hope no bodies have been found under mysterious circumstances near a certain pop star's mansion on the East Coast who just got engaged to a famous football player. Now, I don't know who they're talking to there. People are saying, holy moly, some people can't read. People are saying decomposing is more than 11 hours. I'm crying, bro. Is she stupid? Do not look that up or the FBI will probably go to your crib. It says some people are genuine tards, bruh. LMAO. I already did. You might be cooked, I fear. They're saying David's innocent. Oh, well. Someone's saying, yes, innocent until proven guilty. Someone says, at David, OMG, what happened? So people are messaging him, DMing him, atting him. Someone's saying, so does that mean the LA show is cancelled? People are saying, always my outlook. Who are the 12 people reposting this on Instagram? Someone's saying David's you a D1 hater, innocent until proven guilty. Other people saying they don't know if the show's going to be cancelled. It says they're going to report more on it. 11, y'all. Keep me updated. It says while his fans are trying to figure out what's going on, David appears online in Discord. So it says, oh my God, comments are turned off on his page. It says just because it's his car doesn't mean he did it. It's not clocking to y'all. They're saying it might actually be over with, or it might actually be over. What the hell? People say I said that earlier. Someone commented at it. So other people are saying his comments aren't turned off. And someone points out David is online, right? David is online. So everybody's just trying to come to terms with this, right? They're saying you can't comment on David's post anymore. People saying, swear to God, they are turned off. You can't comment. It's raps. People are posting screenshots. So someone said, none of this makes any sense. He apparently hasn't been there for a while, but the car was abandoned and a body takes a while to decompose. I'm confused. Now, there was a rumor, an unsubstantiated rumor going around that David was apparently telling people his car got stolen at a certain point. You don't hear about that no more, all right? People saying, bro, there's no way. Saying he's online. Open the comments. David, tell me this shit ain't true. So David's in Discord reading this as it happens, allegedly. People are saying, oh shit, wait, David about to address the allegations. People saying there's no way. They're saying, yeah, this is surely just promo for Romantic Homicide 2 year anniversary, right? That's kind of dark, especially given that was Celeste's birthday it was originally released on. People saying, oh no, David, please tell us. So people are saying, dog, there's no way. First body of his career. They're really not taking this seriously, right? Someone's saying, I'm not going to bed until I get an update for this. They're saying, bro, Hoodstar Diary, David is back. Let's get it. David typing about to start. Wait, maybe in an hour he'll notice it. They're saying, gang, Hoodstar David came out. So apparently, right, they're mentioning this, the Hoodstar. This is apparently one of David's early projects from a 2022 period where he was kind of talking about drill rap. And he apparently had a track on there called Young Girl. Now, this one, wait, that can't be right. This can't be true. This can't be true. It's the last song on a now deleted EP called The Hoodstar Diary by David. It's constant drill anthems. This is long before, though. This is long before. Man, I'm shocked this is a thing. Like, these lyrics are insane. And bear in mind, this would have come out years before the murder. But I'm going to have to go and listen to this. This is crazy. Talking about, I ain't on no bullshit. Hitting girls is the only thing I'm good at. That's a lie. I ain't a bad guy. Tripping out. OD, I'm a good guy. Young girl, she real fly. Come down. Teal right. Eat light. Come by. Young girl, what does she want? Young girl, kill her. Young girl, gang out. Young girl, 14. Young girl, dead. Now that, I can't believe that these are actually lyrics that came out of this man's mouth. How is that even possible? I'm going to just go and listen. I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to check that that really is what was said. So I just tried to search for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't hear it. And then I just see this Reddit post. It says the Hoodstar Diary was removed everywhere after the attention that was brought to it. It says 2 days ago, a Reddit user made a post about the Hoodstar Diary, a relatively unknown album by David. After the post was made, the album was removed from YouTube, SoundCloud, and Last.fm, all places where it was listenable. If there was any other platform it could be listened to on, feel free to share if you'd like. Anyway, I think this sudden decision to suddenly hide the Hoodstar Diary is extremely suspicious. Not only does this show us that David or someone close to him is watching this subreddit constantly, but it's also obvious there must be a reason why he wants to hide the album. If anyone has the album screen recorded or anything of the sort, please share it. There may be a piece of the puzzle hidden inside the lyrics, or at least something he doesn't want known. So is this a copy of it, or is this the lyrics? Is that the lyrics? Compilation of all David songs? No way. No way. I need to hear that. All right. This link doesn't work. This link doesn't work. Right, access denied. It's not a shareable Google Doc. So I've requested access to the doc, but I really would just love to hear this. I would really love to find out what was going on with that. People are saying it was me. I'm that user. I screen recorded. I have them all screen recorded. I shared with a true crime page. I need to hear that song. That's insane. Is there a link to it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this the full thing? I've got to sign up. Okay, I just did all of that and logged in and reset my password, and there's nothing there. It says the playlist has no tracks. So David has clearly tried to cover up this project from the whole world, but we see it, all right? We see the lyrics, the very incriminating lyrics, even though this came out years before the murder. It's not a great look, all right? And David was clearly a little bit of a wannabe drill kind of guy, all right? So basically, couldn't find it. No one else can find it. A link didn't work. If anyone's got it, let me know. Honestly, let me know. But anyway, okay. This is where things start devolving into abject chaos in the Discord. So they start tagging the infamous users of the Discord, Xerx, the famous mod who's very suspicious. He was definitely a big part of Operation Delete Everything, allegedly. And Rob Morganroth, David's, day-to-day management, as they referred to him a few times. So people are tagging Xerx. That's Xerx's other username, as we discovered in a previous video. People saying, what the F is going on? And then Rob, David's manager, someone's tagging him. They're saying, tell me it's not true. The one and only GOAT. People are crying. They're saying maybe in an hour he'll announce it. They're saying Rob's the last person who would respond. People have questions. They're saying the white Tesla, bruh. It was tight. So they're posting up Xerx saying, I'm going to say again, this month was going to be a big one. Saying bro wasn't lying. Obviously his album dropped. His tour was starting and he was going to drop the deluxe. But anyway. It said, bro, David is a gooner and digs in his butt for a living. How could he do this? And you can tell these are kids, right? They're saying 6, 7. Okay, Dave killed somebody. Are they looking for him now? They're saying, David, do something. People saying, Sigh, I've been thinking, allegedly, but he hasn't been in LA since the tour started. So people are saying, allegedly, they're looking for him. People saying his TikTok comments have been limited too. People are saying this wasn't my best work. Saying it's going down. All right, guys. Or he can become a ghost. Will he just fly away? Saying you could say that he made that individual bleed out. How did they know? How did they not? They're getting so many details right. They're saying you could say he made that. And the feds, the cops are saying that is exactly what happened. He stood by and watched her bleed out. How on earth did they know that? So they sent TikTok's comments limited, though thought it's been like that, bro. I was stalking his page earlier and I couldn't comment hours ago. Said he's now withering. You could say the body was withering. Now, these guys are making jokes. I don't condone these jokes. It's not cool, right? People spreading false news that I was making jokes about Celeste. Never happened, all right? Never happened. I did say... Oh, sorry, I was just closing some tabs. I did say, that I won't make a joke about something because I heard a word quite a few times and it made me think of something that could be funny at the expense of David, but I didn't even say it. So... people in here are making pretty tasteless jokes and they don't even realize just how bad the situation is yet. This says, bro took him to the sun. They're saying, wait, because KTLA made the post 3 hours ago. If they turned it off, it's because they saw the KTLA post and were like, fuck. People saying, ain't the Hollister collab supposed to drop today? They're saying, Luke, you're an interesting creature. They're saying, want to join? MF's lost a petal. I already bought the Crocs. Wild. They're saying, oh, so the Benji screenshotted is actually slow. So it says... somebody replied to a comment on ABC's posts and other people saying it's him, plus that is his real name. I don't know if they're speculating that it's him in the trunk, but it clearly was his car. Someone said, I replied and said it was his car and not him. And she just doubles down because there's no proof that it's not him. Anyway, not him responsible, that is. It says she's pissing me off from 3 screenshots. They're saying that she's got bad reading comprehension. She thinks David is the dead one. Obviously, that's not true. So what is this? What is this video? Someone posted a video in the chat. Do I want to see this? I'm a bit scared. This looks a bit sus, if I'm honest with you. Let's see it. Let's just do it. Oh, so this is his promo video for the Hollister Crocs that he was dropping. I'm not going to lie to you, even though David's a real piece of shit, the Crocs are actually looking kind of fire. I actually would probably rock these. They're like fluffy Crocs with a little strap and some buttons on them. These are actually really nice, but it would be nice. So I guess David was an ambassador for the Hollister Crocs collab. It wasn't his Crocs. They weren't David limited edition Crocs, which I guess is good. So people are saying, shit, wait, David caught a body. Wait, am I blind or where's the Tesla? People saying good night, the blacked out car. Welcome to the conversation. They're saying, no, David committed romantic homicide. What do we do now? So people are still atting David in there. They're saying, come forward, say something, twin. They're saying, you think Bryant knew about this? People are saying, I sent you proof in your DMs. If it's up, then it's up. You scared at David. This is a deleted user, so who knows? I wonder. People are saying, fess up, buddy. Is this a Carti reference? They're saying, someone definitely put it in his car. Not going to lie. I don't think he would leave a body in his car. Cap. Turns out you would. Allegedly. So the Discord notices that David goes on offline at a certain point, right? They're saying, I just saw him go back offline. They're saying, why did he go? Who else sliming someone for their album rollout? They're saying, okay, but deadass, who's trying to frame our boy right now? They're saying, nobody do it like David, man. Says he's stupid. He'd be stupid to leave a dead body in his car while he goes on tour and it's against everything he believes. Lol. Well, little did they know that's allegedly what was going down. Says, nah, he on offline mode. I just checked. And then people are asking for an explanation. So this is a screenshot from David's Updates Twitter, who was confused as well, right? They posted this and they said, someone explain what's going on. So even the David Updates, the official blue-ticked David Updates Twitter page was left in the dark. So after this, his chat would notice he's online again, and they suggest that he is actually lurking in there reading the messages. And it wouldn't surprise me. I reckon he was reading and watching and keeping track of absolutely everything that was going on. It says, even Twitter be crazy. How the F you even check that? They're saying, sigh, David probably opened the chat, not going to lie. This says the Kirsten Steppers. D4 definitely lurking. It said he's media trained, though, so he can't say anything. And then they're posting little memes of him. They're saying, who's trying to frame David? It's all part of the plan. It says, does anyone know the gender of the dead person or whatever? So this is long before we actually knew who it was. Someone's saying back to Breach now. They're saying dog. Guys, come on, let's not be mean. Let's feed into his delusions. It says maybe the media trainers test to see how David deals with a situation like this whenever he needs to speak on it. That would be, wouldn't that be nice? But clearly this was a real situation. So people are basically saying it's always a dead man. 15 minutes left. Must have been the person inside the coffin of his show. So people remember that he brought a coffin out to his show, right? And it just hits different when you know this is what was going on behind the scenes. So then they say that that's why he made a song called Afterlife. Little did they know that might well be the case, All right. There was rumors that he might have recorded that Afterlife song before the murder. I think it's a little bit too suspicious, and it dropped afterwards. You know, it's like, yeah, basically it's like the same thing as some of these rap, like what Lil Durk's doing. Lil Durk's trying to lie and say, "Oh, that song where I'm talking about, no, look on the news, see your son screaming no. Oh, I wrote that ages before the murder where the guy was screaming no." It's like we just don't believe you. It's just nonsense. You don't really have any proof. Anyway, people are saying they're working tomorrow, going through all his songs one last time before digging in our butt. 6'7" cracking twin gets cancelled. It's just kids in here. It's just a bunch of kids. So it says, "I'm glad I got to see him 2 days ago. We both know what I have to do," was subtly hinting him at killing his ex. Little did they know that was very true. It says he has to make it to Friday. I got VIP. He has to make it to Friday, bro. If he does get cancelled, then the last thing he said on Twitter was 6'7". They're saying I literally bought tickets to him at the Grammy Museum. There's no way, right? They're saying that they got faith he will play a show. He has to last until October. Then I can see him. And he did play a couple shows after this, but it was only a couple, okay? It says, bro literally made so many songs about death or end of life that if a court was to decide based on that, he would for sure go to jail. Well, that might be the case. People saying maybe he killed Itami. This says, can I get an image or picture of the individual that calls himself D4D? And it showed an Asian lady. Maybe that's because of all of the anime that he's into. That's what they thought David would look like. So, yeah, so give it an hour, right? An hour passes after the Discord first finds out about the body, and that's when Safiyya enters the chat, okay? The notorious Discord mod that has distanced herself from the case recently, all right? And she was the one who was asked to delete everything when David streamed with Celeste and blew his spot up. So she says, just WTF, and then people are getting back in with their very childish theories once again, talking about someone made Itami angry, and 2, it's a new album release. They're saying Brian didn't crack David, so he got mad. And then Safiyya's just in disbelief. She's saying, guys, just STF happened. Just shut the F. I think she's saying just STF, shut the F up. I mean, yeah, that is, she's just clueless at this point, right? And they're saying, this is the man they're accusing of murder, by the way. Not going to lie, a body in a trunk is a bit more than an accusation. So someone posted this. They said, I have a Tesla. I'm trying to figure out how the F a body would fit in the frunk. And they said, if the body is decomposing, then it's been on for months. If the body is decomposing, this shit has been on for months. And that's a deleted user. So again, people have worked it out, and it took people a long time, took the authorities a long time, but they worked it out in the Discord same day. Ex-girlfriend, afterlife was about her, must have been dead for months. A lot of people still weren't convinced, though. Some people are saying this is definitely a promo. Has anyone seen the David news? I think it's probably a freak who let an obsession get to a certain point. This kind of stuff happens with celebrities. What, you think a super fan got into his trunk and died for fun? It's ridiculous. Saying this doesn't make sense because the car had to have been abandoned because the body had been there for months. And people are still cracking jokes. They're joking. I just farted. They're not taking this seriously. All right. Possibly they don't realize how serious this is, or really it's just a bunch of kids. But they're saying, brother, this does not sound like a frame. They're saying true, but they say that with everything, even new bodies. People are saying, hi, Kylie. This is insane. 5 more minutes till news update. They're saying, don't they say that with all new bodies? People say, no, I expect the server to get deleted soon, and there would be a lot that would be deleted. Saying if it was just a body, it would be a body. Saying more info in 5 minutes. Chat lock in for 5 minutes. So it says if David is convicted of murder, it's only fair we leak his entire vault. They're saying we. And then David updates, and Daily David, they're saying WTF, oop. People saying fingers crossed he did it. Now, in their defense, it's because they're saying if he's convicted of murder, we'll leak all of his music. So they're saying they want that to happen just so that they can hear all of his music. Again, they're not realizing how serious it is. So basically, everybody starts watching ABC News Live waiting for an update on David and the Tesla, right? So why did they just show Epstein mentioning David? That's funny. And the people are saying that's real. They're crying. They're saying David is a Diddy. People are saying, come on. They're saying David Epstein Burke. David is Epstein, right? So they're saying, Safiyya's saying, I swear to God, been telling this guy you got to be careful. Now this is what happened. Again, you were supposed to delete everything when he was on stream with the minor. So it's hard for me to believe that Safiyya didn't know nothing, especially when she's talking like this. So after that, She says this is basically, yeah. So this is what was shown on the news right before the David segment. So this is what they're referring to as far as Epstein being mentioned, which I think is kind of interesting. It's cool that we got this screen capture.
Schools are the big winners, too. According to the state lottery, public schools received a boost of more artists. It's next on Eyewitness News at 11.
That's how they did it? Is that really how they introduced it? What the hell? That's jarring.
Received a boost of more artists. It's next on Eyewitness News at 11.
It sounds like they said rigor mortis.
Next on Eyewitness News, boost of more artists. It's next on Eyewitness News at 11.
It's ironic that they would show Epstein while discussing David in that context. So anyway, it says they're going to find a way to blame Elon because it was a Tesla. It says they already did. And then they're posting more throwback David stories. This one, it says, what does it say? Cover and track list tomorrow. I need all the baddies in attendance, please. So, you know, they're saying, never mind, Zesty. Everyone in here is just fiending for David music, right? That's what's really going on. But essentially, you know, they don't even realize how serious this situation is about to be. Obviously, we're seeing him doing his little post. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. Now, they're all on voice chat watching the live news. So they're all in voice chat watching ABC News Live, trying to find out. It says, bro finally got the collab and the deluxe, but what the F? It said someone told him the cover was ass and he got sad. They're saying David got shooters. Saying dead ass. We'll screen share. Or they're saying we'll screen share. And they're saying, are you guys gooning in the VC, the voice chat? And they're saying, yeah. And someone, Safiyya, saying no when they said the cover was ass and he got sad. They're saying bro really was locked and loaded. They're saying Essex in the voice chat, let's go. No wonder he removed the empty clip off the deluxe. People saying who said Jades? I'm crying. They're saying, I swear to God, he got to be careful who he's lending his car to. Now, it's funny because I feel like maybe this might be the source for the original rumor, because it was going around that David was apparently saying his car got stolen and it wasn't him and he ain't had nothing to do with this. And it was, oh, my car got stolen. I don't know what happened. Because I saw that going around and I believe there were a few sources where he's saying he's got to be careful who he's lending to his car to, right? He might have said that excuse to Safiyya directly. So people just can't believe it, saying, OMG, no way, that's my goat, still waiting, no chat, hello, couple days, is that all we got? I need answers, oh my God. Okay, so finally it appears on the news once again. We got the news clip here as breaking news is updated.
Breaking news details after a body was found inside a car at a Hollywood tow lot today. There's no immediate information about the identity of the person found inside, but Eyewitness News has learned the 2023 Tesla is registered in Hempstead, Texas to multi-platinum artist and musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David. This is video of David performing on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2023. The grim discovery was made after nearby residents complained about a foul odor. Police say the impounded car had been at that lot property on North Mansfield Avenue for a couple of days now. They say the body had been placed inside a bag. We've reached out to David's representatives and are still waiting for a response. Breaking news.
It's interesting to look back at that and see how the news were reporting it as breaking news. This is back on Monday, September the 8th, right? So that news clip went up and it gave updates and everybody lost it in the chat, right? People are saying, is that it? They're saying, oh my God, bro, I could have went to bed. What the F, my heart. We were waiting for that. No, it's over, dude. People were pissed off. They're saying the body was found in a bag, a mother effer. Okay. So people can't believe it. They're saying, yes, a rap, right? Dog. People saying it's Jason the Ween. Right, that's David's streamer friend he'd be sleeping with. Now, it's ironic. Once again, they post this promo pic of the day of the murder. This is the day the murder happened when David was promoting his album. Likely this was just a few hours before he killed Celeste, in my opinion, all right? So it is pretty crazy. It seemed like this Discord chat were actually onto it, and they knew what was going on quite a while before we even found out, right? People saying, shit's crazy, it's over, bro. What are the odds he finishes the tour, right? Says if any dates change, he did it. And the dates did change. It said he's getting accused. Y'all, you're most def cancelled, like dead serious. They're saying Duck playing in Clash Royale and VC. Not gonna lie, if I was famous, I wouldn't let no bitch stop me from posting that. I'm not a murderer on my story because I don't care how media trained I am. He said stop me from posting that I'm not a murderer. So they're basically saying if he wouldn't let anyone stop him, he would post on his story, I'm not a murderer. Well, David didn't do that because allegedly, in my opinion, he is a murderer. People saying me too. Oh, David is October effed. Nope. He had 7 months to just run around. So you guys are in luck. It says the fact they haven't said anything makes it so much worse. And David's team was incredibly quiet. So now they're saying to get told nothing new, but the body was in a bag, by the way. That was new information. People are saying, what does that mean? They're saying that's not just homeless people. This was already known in the article. They're saying memes, it was conducted correctly. But what that really means, it was premeditated. They said no statement is kind of wild. He's pulling a Jades. They're saying shit, he might be cooked. Well, they didn't say in the article that they had contacted David, so that's as far as they got, but they ain't reply. Okay, so this is who they're apparently referring to when they're saying they're comparing David to Jades. I didn't really know about this case, but this is Jades or JD's, an underground Florida rapper arrested for attempted murder. So he was known for heart pacing and ghetto cupid. He stabbed a woman who was not taking on his sexual advances to her. Well, weirdo. So an 18-year-old underground rapper from Florida was arrested for attempted murder. Apparently he stabbed a woman who wasn't taking on his sexual advances to her. That is disgusting. He was being held without bond in a Broward County jail. Judge ordered a mental health evaluation for him. So they're comparing him to David in this situation. The woman had stab wounds in her neck and forearm. Oh, it's just disgusting, man. Some men are just fucking. Let's just get rid of certain dudes. You know what I'm saying? If you do this, let's just get rid of you. Let's just gotta go. See ya. Poof, two gone. You know what I'm saying? Just get rid of these people. Anyway, according to the document, she was taken to the pediatric emergency room. God, was she a minor? Was this a minor too? You're joking. So the victim provided a statement. He was invited to the apartment. He sent an Uber. There are some similarities, but she survived. She was talking with him on his bed. He tried to kiss her. She pushed him away and said she didn't like him like that. He said, come on. She reneged a second kiss. She denied him again, and he left the room. He came back with a box cutter and scissors and started to stab her. Stabbed her in the forearm and back with the scissors, then stabbed her in the neck with a pink box cutter. She fought him and was able to run to the bathroom and called 911 for help. That is screwed. Damn. It sounds like she was a minor too. So they're comparing David. Arguably, I mean, David and this guy they're both pieces of shit. At least that poor girl survived. Saying this is the worst promo of all time. So the Discord is just going crazy at this point, right? The news is coming out. They're finding out about the body bag in the trunk and all that stuff. Saying if it was promo, by the way, he wouldn't be disabling his comments. They're saying if King Von did his stuff in prison, he can too. That's not really. Very, very bad comparison to King Von, right? Don't get me started. They're saying, what are the chances it was planted there? They're saying, well, he's media trained. They're saying King Von needed to go. You're not wrong. They're saying, I think the tour is going to get cancelled because he's going to get summoned by the police for investigation, or I don't know. So Safiyya is pointing stuff out, and it didn't happen. We don't even know if he got questioned by the police. People joking that he's 4'3", he couldn't hurt a fly. They're saying, I believe that David would do it. Some people saying, I believe David wouldn't do that. People are agreeing with that. They're saying he's tinier than a fly. Of course he couldn't. Little did they know that his victim was, a helpless minor. They're saying, man, bro could be a crazy-ass MF. How y'all not know this? They're saying, who's older than David? They're saying he's getting pegged. Hopefully, if he's not segregated in jail, we'd definitely be getting penetrated. So there you go. I can say it. I think he should... I think he let someone borrow his car, then it happened because he was in Chicago when it happened. Now, we know that's cap. But again, we're starting to see where these fake narratives were being pushed. And I wouldn't be surprised if Safiyya was actually told that by David. But she didn't mention that in that, was it the Wired article that I read all about her? And some people were upset that I kind of called her out a bit because basically she was really in on the case and then she walked away. Look, all right, I'll give her a pass. She's all right. All right. I think she was I don't want to say victim, but I feel like she was probably manipulated and lied to. It says, this man was squealing, getting his piercings back, bro. This guy couldn't kill anyone. They're saying he's David, the new O.J. Simpson. Find out later tonight. Get this man a true. They're saying dude could have left the body there. Itami is older than David. They're saying you're right. They're going to use the Hood Star Diary against him. Again, these guys are so tapped in. They know everything, right? People saying help. The same guy who made a full-ass TikTok song saying if you're wiping your ass, you're digging in your butt. Okay, this is just kids. Somebody said, what if he rented the car to someone and it happened to be a murderer? And while he was on tour, the body was found decomposing as it had been sitting there for at least 2 weeks, they said. And he obviously ain't driving around in a body-infested car. I hope not. Well, allegedly he was. And the murderer ditched the car because he's going everywhere like every day. But David didn't know because he was using another vehicle for transportation. I'm coping. This is gargantuan levels of cope, all right? So eventually David would come online again in the Discord, but he wouldn't talk. People will be crying. They're saying, in the front of my Tesla, you died. So people are joking and flipping the lyrics that David has rapped in the past, sung in the past, to reference this, right? Safiyya's doing crying emojis. They're saying, oh, this is happening. I'm tempted to DM him, but he has my address. I already did. He got mine too. He's back online. I sent question marks because I was genuinely worried. They're saying we're cooked. And they're saying David is back online, right? So here, multiple Discord members start posting this phrase, right? It says, in case of an investigation by any federal entity or similar, I do not have any involvement with this group or the people in it. I do not know how I am here, probably added by a third party, but I do not support the actions by any member of this group. Everyone starts posting this because they're realizing even being in this Discord might make them privy to a crime. So now we start seeing even more ridiculous stuff. People saying, at David, on your soul, that body better be a guy. Well, not only was it not a guy, but it wasn't an adult. People saying, never come out. Adrian, explain our friend group. Someone posted a video. What was this video? Let's see for context. This is a video of David whiling out back in the day.
Mommy, sorry. 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 Mommy, sorry.
I'd actually never seen that before because I've heard people say that as a joke before. Mommy. So it says, we all helped you out, David. People are tagging him. People are pissed and heartbroken at this point. They're saying everyone in this server is equally as guilty. We knew, and they did. People are saying we did not, but again, don't forget when Celeste was missing and she was still alive. People were in this Discord talking about drop the song about Celeste, the missing girl. People saying we did not know. And people saying we didn't know anything, but people are really genuinely worried that they're getting involved in this, right? They're saying everyone in the server is guilty. People saying, dog, what are you saying? And then some people, they're riding for David. They said, we are all willing to go to jail for you, David. People saying, I rebuke that. Nuh-uh, who is we? And they're saying, at David, they're going to call you pretty boy in jail, bro. You're going to get cracked by dudes. We can only hope, right? Someone's saying, I'm going to go to sleep if I wake up and see David in handcuffed GGs. People saying, what? He ain't wrong. And then Safiyya saying, praying he won't drop that soap. Now, this is kind of, again, it's just like, how are you guys getting so casual about a murder that you've just found about in your community that same day? Like, she was taking it seriously a minute ago, and now she's joking. People saying he couldn't hurt a fly. It always be the MFs you never expect. They're saying this thing killed. Apparently. I'm not going to lie, I ain't seen anyone defending it somehow. They're saying, David, be a good boy to the cops. Okay, good night. And saying, going to be real, bro. It's looking like it. How, though? I thought he was good. People are saying, like I said, bro, he's speed running being famous. Saying always the idiots asking Grok who he is, famous. F you mean, you thought he was good. People saying, on God, is what I'm saying. MF's over here saying he wouldn't hurt a fly. Like, bro, you don't know David, right? You don't. None of you knew David. Okay. So then this gets posted. It says, why are people... This is like David defenses that were getting trotted around at the time. This says, why are people trying to hide bodies in other people's cars? What the F? No way this man did anything. The story says the car was moved there for a few days and then the stench was noticed. He's been touring far from California since early August. Anyway, stream romantic homicide. National Ocean. You got some explaining to do, bud. You got some explaining to do. So it says, like he's been touring since August and the car was there for a few days. So people have taken this cope. I know that's why it makes no sense. Someone had to have framed him. Not just framed him, his friend group, he probably let them borrow. Right? So now they're trying to blame his friends. So what if I blow into my mic like Flight? Would you disintegrate? Someone said, true that. What if his day one did it? And they're saying, yeah, because he was in Chicago when they impounded his car there. I said, I told this guy to careful who he hang out with. That's weird, all right? So your missus delete everything when he's doing a stream with a minor, and then you're talking about, I told this guy to be careful who he hang out with, all right? You're talking about minors. Safiyya's got a lot of really suspicious stuff that just is like, it's hard to give her the benefit of the doubt every time. And people saying, what if it is his day one in the car? This Ben is saying, I'm onto something. Someone murdered him and framed David, or what if David killed someone? They're saying he's on tour though, and people saying, you never know. Is anyone going to his concerts? This person says, I am, not anymore. Said, I'll take his place. Pretty sure it stated he was in Chicago at the time somewhere. So you are going to get aired out at the concert. It says, all witnesses gone ass. The only way that's possible is if someone put the remains in mid-tour so it doesn't raise sus. I don't know, though. People saying you never know. Safiyya saying, that's what I'm thinking, especially LA is a bunch of weird-ass people live in that area. There's one weird-ass person that was living in the Hollywood Hills of LA during this time. One particular person I can think of. So people are saying, I don't know what... Safiyya's saying, I don't know what to think anymore. Everyone's saying, what the helly? People saying that boy done did it. They're saying, by the way, fitting a body in a Tesla frunk seems impossible. It's not big at all. So they don't know about the dismemberment yet. They're saying, if a body is in a plastic bag in the back of a car, especially in the heat, it's going to smell faster, right? So these guys are pretty smart. They're saying shit was probably cut up. So this is less than a day after, and they're working out all of these little details. It says it's crazy the server's 3 years old now. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why David liked it so much. What would the need for a bag be then? Saying, y'all too busy on David. I'm just playing Mirror's Edge. Shit, I don't know. Ask David. He killed the MF. They're saying someone used his car on Mr. Beast challenge. So we're nearly at the end now. They're saying, David, why you put a jit in a bag? How'd they know it was a jit? That's sort of like Florida slang for a kid. So I swear, bro, I was just online for a split second. People saying, I'm seeing that. A decomposing body and the car hasn't been there for weeks. Someone said I was just about to ask, and it says they finna use this server for evidence. No, factual. They will be using this server for evidence, and all that deleting didn't work out for you guys. Safiyya, wouldn't be surprised if they contacted you. People saying it's not adding up. They're saying, and the heat is going to make the smell speed up. But Safiyya's defending him again, saying, right, he hasn't been touching in LA since August. Shame you can't account for April. Anyway, especially in the trunk of a car, people saying, good point with the heat. Guess he sold his soul to the devil. They said, no way is David stupid enough to stuff a body in his own car. And now people are saying, what is the new tour dress code? Orange jumpsuit or black and white stripes? They went orange jumpsuit, and I can attest that is true. When I see David on tour in the downtown LA courthouse, he was rocking the orange jumpsuit. I've seen him play 2 dates so far, and I will be going to, I definitely will be going to the headline show with a grand finale, all right? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it says, for real though, I think he's being framed. This guy prays before every concert. It's saying he can't stuff it in when he was on tour. Saying he probably just put an air freshener in there thinking that worked. Now, that sounds ridiculous, but apparently that's what was really going on. So, look, I thought that was a really interesting snapshot of just like what all the activity was around the time that this happened. His Discord, it's like they simultaneously are sort of working out all these details. They're working out the dismemberment. They're working out like how this could have happened, the smell of the car, who moved it. But then also they're running with these ridiculous theories that he was framed and the car was stolen. And I remember when this happened, that theory was getting pushed out there a lot on a lot of different platforms. We now know it's nonsense, but I'd love to know how David distributed that lie, because it seemed like it was a lie that came from him. But anyway, look, sorry I haven't given you a David update the past couple of days. I just wanted to talk about a few other things, and also I was really just looking for new things. I don't want to just rehash the stuff I've already told you guys, but at the same time, I'm fascinated in this case. I'm quite happy to dig deeper into it every single day. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything else. For now, I will probably... I might just do this one video today. I might just chill. Not really feeling it at the moment. But appreciate you guys watching this one. I'm glad we got this one done. Thank you for everyone supporting and watching the videos. And go and check out the video I did on my main channel. I'm super, super disappointed at how little interest there was in that video. I think sometimes it's like I do things probably for the wrong reasons, like not just to placate the haters, but like to prove that I have other dimensions to what I can do. I get all this hate, like, all you talk about is gangsters, gangster rappers, you make people look bad with all the murders you talk about. And I really wanted to do this video about all the people Trump has had killed. It's no secret, like Trump has people killed and he brags about it on Twitter. He's damn near the real King Von. So I did a full 2-hour breakdown of all the people that Trump has had eliminated, and I guess you guys didn't like that. You know, not many people watched it. Didn't really get pushed, and that was super disappointing, because that was a video I put a lot of extra effort into, and also I felt like that was actually really showing you guys like that I can apply my same talents of scorekeeping to politics. So disappointed. My whole team's disappointed. We're actually gutted that no one liked that video. So go and check that out if you want. Like that would cheer me up. I was already down before that, but like that's definitely like just like a little kick me while I'm down kind of vibe, you know. I'll be getting that a lot lately. But anyway, all right, not going to give up yet. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I will come up with some better ideas, hopefully, that you guys rock with later down the line. I'm tired, man. I can't be bothered. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.